You may recall the last words that it said to you.
Yes.
I'm right here. And the face came in as soon as you lit that up. The face appeared. Now we are going to play the game.
Wow, it's a jarring. Oh, it's so the transition's so like jarring and on our side of things, and it's so smooth on.
I know. It is. It's kind of weird.
I'm like,
However,
okay.
with the face now looking at you, it begins to fall back into the darkness from whence it came. You can see small shiny objects beginning to come up around you. Prior to this, you started making saving throws, first against your body, then against your mind. You don't know whether or not you succeeded, but you do know that when you lashed out and you hit something, you pulled back a green flame, then danced on your finger and started to burn your body. You then put it out, came across the face. What are you going to do now?
I'm gonna take out my. Oh, I don't even have a dagger. I don't have anything. I'm gonna. Morty, wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
He's completely out.
Morty, not now. Oh. Told you not to eat those berries before bed. You're always so fucking tired.
I forgot to get my dice. I now have my dice.
That was
quick.
That was quick. He's not waking up.
No, he does not seem to be waking up at all.
Fuck. I'm gonna pull out a spear, javelin.
Okay.
Javelin. I've got like 3 more of them. I'm gonna hold it with both hands and like swing it around. Like, where are you? And then I'm gonna cast light and poke it on the top of the spear.
Okay, you do, and yeah, so you cast it again. The light lights up the tip of the spear, and now it's all the light is shining around all over the place, and you don't see anything. Now you're piled up against a rock currently, if you remember correctly.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's not too many trees or anything like that. You are out in the steppes, and there's here and there a couple of places that kind of, it's kind of afford a little bit of hiding. Where is Barbara? You're familiar.
She is probably. She probably doesn't like to admit it, but she finds it coziest when she's like tucked underneath Morty's tail. So she's probably like nice and comfy right now.
Okay. All right. Not a problem. Let me do what I need to do in order to make this a little bit on the creepy side. And yeah, let's do it this way. I'm going to click on this and this and this and this and that.
It's a lot of things.
You ready?
Yes.
Let's go to Foundry.
Okay.
This is the journey that you've currently taken. You may recall that.
Yeah.
This is where you are now. In the middle, yeah, nighttime.
Fuck, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
You really are. And
no, I'm not fatigued anymore.
And right next to you,
what the fuck is that? Oh my god, it's so big.
Now we have initiative. One moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start swinging around. I'm gonna give you a free turn, regardless of the initiative order or anything along those lines. All right.
Yeah, that thing is so close to me. I'm stabbing it with the javelin.
Yeah, not a problem. 1 second.
Oh, hold on. Let me pull up my character sheet.
And here we go.
Let me roll that. That is.
What was that for? What's that for?
The javelin.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it misses.
Oh, that is not good. You swing around. Hold on, let me just let me make sure. Okay, do you have this targeted? Yeah, you do. Perfect. Okay. You
Yeah.
come in, you swinging wildly at it, and it begins to fall back into the night. You will have one additional move before we begin.
It's your turn.
I swing behind me and I like literally punch. I'm gonna move
It's your turn.
here.
Okay.
I'm gonna punch Morty while I'm moving and say, "Get the fuck up!" There's the thing.
So, in which direction did you lash those vines out when you went to go hit something?
It was wherever the sound was, so it would have been right in front of me.
Well, it was behind you. Remember, you did not look in back of you. Instead, you then lashed out directly behind you. So I'm offering you the opportunity to tell me where that was.
I will say if it was behind me from where I was standing, probably about right there.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe?
Move yourself back. Okay, and let me.
Oh God.
So you currently have.
I know.
You currently have a torch effect going on.
Okay.
So let me
Yes.
do something over here.
Oh, as soon as you asked me that, I'm like, where are you putting the thing?
When you glance over your left shoulder, it is an object that appears to be a black sphere of some kind of ooze wrapped in a shell of a green gel. That is what you pulled out, and you can see every now and then little noises that come out as licks of green flame hit the night sky and only illuminate a very small portion. This light is not shedding much of anything in the area.
Yeah.
Bramble,
Yeah,
you then
that's
move.
gross.
You moved. You still have 2 actions left.
Oh, it's still my turn. Cool. I'm going to I'm going to take out my long spear instead because this javelin sucks, and that's one action. And then I will. Can I stab from this distance? I sure can. It's a long spear. I'm gonna try to stab that thing again.
Okay.
That's not gonna do it. I missed by 4. Oh, it sucks. I got a 19.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is not going to be good enough for you. It's looking at you. You can see its eyes completely sunken in back of a spectral face, looking at you curiously. It doesn't move. Instead, it tilts its head and is going to try something.
No.
I would like you, if you don't mind. Let me make you my target. Or
That's
its,
okay.
its target.
Yeah. Oh God.
Well, you rolled a 31 on your saving throw against it.
Oh, so I didn't even. Cool.
What you saw was it starts communicating in a language that you simply don't understand. And as it does, you feel compelled to look at it and really see it for what it is, a giant disembodied face of absolute anguish, horror, and madness staring back at you. And as it whispers, its eyes begin to glow a little bit, and you can feel it kind of penetrating you. But at that same time, you begin to build up some resilience. Why are you able to completely refute this thing?
Does it look like any of the drawings that I collected of the nightmares?
What you saw of those drawings, I mean, you tell me. Are you going to spend the time to dig out the photos or the pictures?
Well, if it does, then that's what I was going to say is the reason that I'm able to overcome its will is like,
So
I know what you
tell
are.
me.
Like,
Here you go. You tell me.
No, not really. No, those look like anglerfish dragon things. The one in the back does. Okay, then no, probably not.
Okay.
All right, then I'm able to because I'm more focused on Morty's eye and wanting it to petrify it. Morty, it's your turn. It's your turn. I'm like gonna shake him awake.
Bramble, you go actually.
Oh shit! It's my turn again.
Yep. Well, you had a full turn. Yeah, I gave you some action. So now we are actually in initiative order. It took its action, wasn't able to do anything, and now you go.
Okay. Was that a... Hold on. Was that a mental attack that it was trying to do on me?
It was.
You know what I'm gonna do? I want to cast Mind of Menace.
Okay. So keep that in mind. It is now your turn, which means it's beyond the time of a reaction. Is Mind of Menace a reaction?
It's a reaction. I'll wait till it tries it again. Okay.
So yeah, just an FYI to you, it has to be done at the same time or in the same turn as a reaction. Just be cognizant of that.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna do. Yep. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say Hey you! I've seen bugs more disgusting than your face, and I'm gonna do vomit, swarm, and throw up on him.
Okay. Not a problem.
And there you go. There it is. I don't know if do you click that or do I click that? Save DC 24 basic reflex.
I will do that.
Fuck yeah.
Fails by 4.
Yeah. So I say I start to gag at it's like it's like a throbbing headache. It's like a migraine coming on, and then I shake it off and I say, I've seen bugs more disgusting than your face, and then I throw up this bunch of, I don't know, what do they look like?
Whatever you want. You make it up.
I know. I'm looking at the face. We're gonna go with worms, worms with arms. So they're these gross slimy worms with 6 or 8 little spindly legs that come out, and it's just a bunch of those that go.
Okay. Yeah. They go. It comes out all over it. It failed its save, and let's see. Yeah. Go ahead and roll your damage. Yep. Well, we can assume. Oh yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, let's see if you can.
Oh yeah, that's a 30-foot cone. Can I get both of them in there?
Let's see.
Oh, I can. Oh gosh.
I don't see the cone though.
Hold on, I'm gonna place it right there.
There you go.
Both of those things.
Oh, that's gonna be. Oh, let's see. You know what? I think it's gonna be a little bit less. I think you're gonna be able to get one or the other in this, because it's barely able to touch. Yeah, it's barely. It's
okay.
Less than half of each.
I was going on the precedence of last episode. Okay.
Oh, where it's at least one thing, if it's in there at all. Fuck it. Yeah. You know what? It's let's do it. Let's do it that way. I like that.
I think I sort of I start there and spray towards the I didn't forget about you.
All right, so you projectile vomit.
Yeah, but I think that it'll be fair if you want the oozy thing to.
No. We're moving on. I already said yes, so let's do it.
Oh, damage. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Ooh, 3.
Okay, so 3 hit points to that and to that. This one, hold on. I have to do the basic reflex save for that. Critical failure on that one. Alrighty, so let's do double damage to that. And let's do half damage to the other one. Did he make? Yeah, he did make it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Can I get with my last turn? Can I sort of
Oh no! He failed. He failed. That's right. He failed. What's up?
For my last action, can I get a little bit of insight as to how the bugs affect these two creatures?
They seem to be physical. You could see the creatures go land up on it and then immediately start gnawing on each of their faces. The figure itself, this horrendous visage is looking back at you and seems to be enjoying the fact that its face is being manipulated and destroyed by a swarm of bugs.
Ew. Is the other one that's being affected, are the bugs being negatively affected by consuming it? Like, is it poison
Yeah, you
or
can
anything?
see. Yeah, absolutely. So you can see that some like little black pieces of ooze are being snipped off of it by the bugs, but at the same time, the bugs are also being consumed by the little licks of green flame coming off of this.
Okay, all right. Then free action, I'll turn back to Morty and be like, you better wake the fuck up. That thing's poison. Don't touch it. That thing's okay. You could touch that.
Still out.
Morty, wake the fuck up.
Have you taken all of your actions?
Yes, I have. Let me do my turn and turn.
Okay, let's see. You didn't take any physical actions against Morty, so he's just going to continue doing what he's doing. This one is now going to move up to you, and you can see it's and then a pseudopod like lashes out at you, sticks towards your vines, or at least attempts to stick at your vines. So let's find out if that's actually what happens. It's going to make an attack. That is going to be a miss. Miss it by 2. Yeah, that is 1. Let's see if we can do another one. Oh, critical hit on that one. And of course it had, yeah, that's not too cool. Let's see. This is going to be bludgeoning damage. Oh, wow. So, this ain't pretty.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
There's a portion of the tendril that comes out, and as it forms towards you, it forms like a little bit of an edge and slices through some vines. You see sap and whatnot now leaking out of you. You are going to take, oh boy, 1d6 bleed. And, oh wow. Alrighty. Until you're healed, you will continue to take bleed at the, I believe it's at the top of your turn. So.
Yes.
Okay, so
right.
that ain't good. But you're also going to take some damage. Let me do that real quick. And I'm going to need you to make a... Oh, jeez. That's going to be 13 points of... let's see. Oh, that's going to be double damage. Holy shit. This thing lashed out at you. Now you find yourself covered up in a little bit of green flames. Though cool, they're not causing significant amounts of pain, but you can feel yourself burning, and yet it's not burning. It's almost like an acid. With that, if you don't mind, can you roll a, let me see here. That is going to be a DC 18 fortitude save.
Yes. Okay, please roll 5 or better. Oh, thank God.
22.
That's a 22.
Alrighty. So, not bad. Yeah, you are not affected by it. And you can see that when it went like splat on your flesh and then pulled back some vines, like causing an eruption of some sap tubes inside of you. brain function good. So it's a little bit of a problem. You can see that some kind of like that sticky black ichor was indeed left behind and is trying to seep into your body, and your body simply rejected it, causing it to fall off. That one is done. You begin hearing off to ahead of you and up on the right a little bit of additional noise, like one of them is coming towards you, and that one is right here. That one creeps up next to Morty, and that has all of its moves. And then, oh boy, and we have
what the fuck?
Another one that comes up and begins adjusting its path, coming up over here.
It is your turn. It's your turn.
This thing, now the laugh. It begins fading back. What languages do you speak?
Fuck if I know now. Probably not. Maybe Sylvan's the only one that it would be speaking.
Okay. Yeah, you've never heard it at all before. But I'm going to make a secret check. Something did transpire that your character may not know about. But let's see if you were able to do it nonetheless. I will give you this. Yes. In fact, I'll reveal it to you so you can see it. You rolled a 19 on a lore master lore.
Okay.
You heard it say something, and in those words, you heard something that sounded familiar, but you've never heard since. The only times you've ever heard it was when you were back in the archives back home. You've never heard that word before here. Something having to do with Zelris.
Zelris. Okay.
Which you understand some 1100 years ago, a demi-deity was created out of an elf. One that would come to lord over madness and the moons.
Is this before or after Tirla?
Tirla, unknown when Tirla appeared. As long as people have been having nightmares, Tirla was around.
And this is 64?
This is 64 pre-IC, yeah.
64 plus 11. Oh, 1100 plus 64 would be 1164. Okay. All right.
So, it is... Having said said something in whispers of a foreign evil tongue, it begins to fade out, and you can see reality around it like start spinning around and warbling, and then remember when you were first out there on the plains and you looked out and you saw a tree over there, a rock over there, and a couple of trees over there, and then they went and like came closer to you as creatures? You just saw the exact opposite effect occur in it.
Ooh. Anything happen with the other ones?
No, they're around, and it is now your go.
Turn next.
Okay.
I have to grab some more stuff. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna declare my actions yet. But, what do I do? I feel like these are, like, minions. Can I target? Yeah, that one, and that one. I feel like they're minions of that one. The fuck?
Okay.
All right, hold on. What do I have? Ah,
All right.
You're so fast.
What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. I said you're so fast. Okay, I'm going to, fucking, you know what? Let's see if this works, because they look kind of like they need a bath. I'm going to try to see if I could hydraulic push them.
Okay.
So this one, I'm going to do the one that I have been attacking, and I'm going to say, I'm going to throw my hands out and be like, you need to clean up your act, mister. And I'm gonna workshop that. Morty, wake the fuck up. And I'm going to press the attack button and pretend that I never said that. No, it was a 20.
That was a critical hit.
What the fuck? Why was that a critical hit at 22? Plus 12.
You hit, yeah, because its AC is not huge.
Oh. Okay.
So roll your damage.
Okay. Can I get a card?
Yeah, absolutely. Here, let's go for it. So, there you go.
Spell.
It is a spell. So it's a bomber spell, which is cut off from magic. Normal damage. The target can't cast spells or activate magic items for 1d4 rounds. Go ahead and click that 1d4.
Okay.
1 round.
I've been rolling 300s today. That is a great roll.
Go ahead and roll your damage, please.
Okay, damage. Oh wait, that's not it. Oh yes it is. 10 damage.
Okay, so that is normal damage brought to it. You see the water, most of it hitting, bouncing off, and almost like a really sticky tar. The water hits it and kind of deforms it rather than flaking pieces of it off until finally the water just this torrent hits it, and some of that which got folded back finally ends up breaking off. causing some damage to occur to it. So yes, water will affect it, just not that much. But yeah, you did a hell of a job there. Are you doing anything else?
So that was a critical hit. It actually takes 6d6 bludgeoning damage, and it is knocked back 10 feet. And this only took, I didn't do the critical.
There you go. I just did the crit, and it goes back by 10 feet.
Hell yeah.
That's right. So that would be right there.
Yeah. And I'm gonna fucking punch this one next to me.
Okay.
I like go to like punch Morty, and I'm like, oh, you fucking, okay, well, as long as you're sleeping and somebody's getting a long rest, and I'm gonna punch this guy. Hold on, let me fucking get there. Unarmed strike. I hit it as a 16.
Nice. That's that one there. All right.
Yeah, and I got fucking 6 points of damage on that one.
There you go. Yes. When your hand goes in to touch it.
Yeah.
I need you to make a saving throw.
Which one?
This one is going to be the Fortitude, DC 18.
All right. Yes, 24.
Yeah, not a problem. You could see some of that sticky stuff already on your vines, but you somehow shed some of that, which now is contaminated by that crap. And you see before the leaf or whatever that ended up being in front of your fist as you punched it, before the leaf even touches the ground, it just like sizzles away into nothing and like just starts curling in on itself into like this black ashy mess on the ground. Are you done?
Yeah, yes, I stop, drop, and roll my hand, and then I am done.
Right. It's at the end of your turn, and you are going to take 4 bleed, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll get there.
You didn't poke Morty. See, he's not doing anything.
I've been shouting at him. I've been unless
I know.
He's like...
Well, this thing is now going to attack you. That is 1. That is 2. That is 3. 3 attacks with a critical miss in there.
2 critical misses.
Holy shit. Okay. Wow. This thing is and really trying, just lashing out at you, bouncing back and forth with the spear and the light. You seem to be managing your defense fairly well. Let me see here. Wow. 1, 2, 3. So the first one missed. The second one was a critical miss. The third one was also a critical miss. Oh boy.
I think when I punched it, I accidentally spun it in orbit. So now it's just
So this is, let's see. Apparently you did spin it all around, causing it to now be off guard until the end of its next turn. So let's see. That's gonna be.
Just a little guy.
Yeah, it's just a little guy. He just turns around at you. You see the ooze start forming like a smiley face. It's just a little guy. 2 pseudopods doing this thing. But
it's like the wiggly smile.
Oh, it's just. So that was one attack. The other attack is also really bad for its health and stuff. Oh God! Wow! Take acid back. Hold on. No, this was unarmed. Apparently, well, it's not. It can't be. It's not affected by fatigue. So hold on. Yeah, it can't use this attack until the end of its next turn. Wow! So that just completely nullifies that fucker. He's out. He's out of commission for the next round. Alrighty.
Oh no.
No, that's okay. Well, we have this one who's just now going to. You see this one. Like it lashes out with a pseudopod, go down onto Morty's flesh, and tries dragging some of it back. If it actually succeeds against Morty, then let me untarget you real quick here. If it succeeds against Morty, that's a critical fucking miss. Morty, meanwhile, is just like, He just like rolls over in his sleep.
Curls up.
Yeah, the pseudopod just like lashes out onto the rock and and that's one miss. The next one, also a miss. The next one, a critical fucking miss. Oh my god, these things are useless. Wow. So it's now going to receive a -1 circumstance penalty to attack rolls until it scores a critical hit. Cool. And then lastly, what's up?
Wait, it's got another critical miss.
Oh, does it? It had 2?
Yeah, it had 2.
1, 2. Oh yeah, the first one. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. These things. Holy shit.
The face comes back and it's like I was gone for 2 seconds.
You had one job.
So it receives a -2 circumstance penalty to checks and saving throws. When it hit the rock, it wasn't prepared for the unyielding shock and ended up splitting some of it. Splitting, like, it fragmented its cellular structure, I guess. It really is. It fucking really is. This one's gonna move up to here and try to take its attacks against you. Morty, because he was completely unaffected by anything, just
still sleeping.
Still fucking sleeping. That's a miss. And
that's a hit. Okay.
Dude, on my screen, I don't know what it looked like on the stream, but on my screen, it was on the 1. I was like, oh, here comes another crit miss, and then it just kind of tipped over onto the 19.
To 19.
So that hit for a total of 24. I need you to make another fortitude save, DC 18, please.
Sure, hold on. Fortitude, give me something higher than a 5. We'll take it. Yep, I got it.
You got it?
21.
Okay. So again, some of that stickiness is left on you, but once again, enough damage has been done to you to introduce some of the toxin into your body. You have become so accustomed to being assaulted by the world outside, you just now begin shedding stuff off of your body, which includes a lot of the sticky crap that they're trying to leave behind. And
it's your turn.
It is now your turn.
Okay. I'm going to... I still got a little bit of time. 37, I'm okay. I'm gonna literally, like the back of my viney fist, punch Morty again and say, Morty, get the fuck up.
Roll the hit.
Fighting.
Roll the hit with fortune.
Roll the hit with fortune. Okay.
He may roll over again. He's very good at being unconscious and making people miss things.
This is great. Hold on.
Crazy, just to clarify, Crazy C, the village was some miles back, but yes, this is immediately after. Morty, with significant wounds to his body, insisted that he and Bramble get as far away from the burning village as possible. They ended up traveling 50% more than what you would normally do in a single day, and then Morty collapsed in a state of absolute fatigue. He should actually be closer to, yeah, he's not doing particularly well. That explains his sleep. There was no particular glade or anything like that. They came up against a stone and just started falling asleep. Alrighty, what'd you do there?
So I only got a 21 and I missed by 2, but then it says that you said that the target takes 40 damage, so...
Did you roll with... Oh, and you did roll with fortune.
I did roll.
Okay.
I got 2 10s.
And you said the target what?
The next thing says the target takes 40 damage. I did not. But I did not punch Morty for 40 damage.
Where do you... Oh. No. That is correct. You did not. Yes. I reduced his hit points to where it was at last session.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna use my hero point.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and re-roll.
Again? Is it with fortune again?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Well, that's a little bit better. Okay.
Okay.
Do the damage.
Do the damage?
Yeah, that's what's waking his ass up.
Why did I roll the highest roll so far on my friend?
Okay. Are you done?
That was just one action, so no, not yet. Morty, wake up, and I'm going to.
What the fuck? What the oh, son of a bitch! He like it tries grabbing some weeds and tries pulling it over, and it's just not working. And tries rolling back over, and then he starts feeling the sting of the wound. But we'll continue this after your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn his face towards the other one and be like, "That one's yours. These ones are mine."
That's an interaction. That's 2 actions now you've taken.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was doing that just for flavor.
Sorry. No, yeah, obviously you don't have to do that because you're in the middle of combat with 3 things. So.
You know, it is what it is. All right, I could have used the free action, just not touched him, but whatever. We're gonna do. That's a critical hit on that one, though.
It is.
I'll
do you
take
want a
that.
card?
What do I want to? Yeah, I do.
You got it.
Actually, no, I don't. Just give it fucking double damage for that.
You got it? Okay. So critical damage?
Why? Oh wait, you rolled the damage.
Yeah, go ahead. You roll it.
Okay. Damage. That's a little better. Wait, why is that only a 5 for me?
Well, you're going to do double damage to it, so it does 10. I don't know. I rolled a... Oh, because I rolled a 2 times 1d8 plus 2. You rolled just a 1d8 plus 2. So you did 10. I would have done 6.
Okay, cool. So now that is the end.
Yeah, your spear pierces this thing, and it gets... It's like gets stuck in there. You end up pulling it out, and you can see the tip of your spear. At first, when you stick it in there, because you have the light cast on the tip of the spear, it's like the inside of it just kind of glows. And when it does, all you see is just like screaming faces inside of it, pressing up against the skin of it. And every now and then, one of them comes out almost like a whitehead coming out to the surface. But instead of it being a whitehead, what it actually turns into is a pseudopod, which then comes out and tries attacking you.
That's okay. That's the end of my turn.
All right.
No, thank you.
You take 2 damage from bleed.
Yeah.
Morty, I'm gonna make a fortitude save. Oh boy, let's see. It's just gonna be 23. He's like,
okay, good.
Oh, the fuck, Bramble, man! What just landed on me? He's like, Jesus Christ! And he starts like,
who's that?
He starts making Hell of Zelrus! It just like moves back. By Cythlia's horned head! Like that readjusts himself by Nordaga's twisted face! And looks out at these things like shit! He stands back up, takes a 5-foot step back. That is going to be 2 actions. And he's... What?
I said, what the fuck, Morty?
She's like, I don't fucking know. What the hell are these things? And...
Your basilisk, paralyze it. Petrify it.
God, fuck that. It's like, I'm just gonna... And he's trying to figure out what to do. He definitely has a sleepies. You can see some like crusties in the corner of his eyes, and he's not feeling too happy. But nonetheless, he reaches out with his jaws, and he's going to try tearing some of it off. He does. He rolls a 5 and hits.
Amazing.
He does 21 points of damage to it. Rips this thing apart. Now he has to make a fortitude save against it. Let's see. That's going to be a...
That was me. You targeted me.
What? I targeted you.
Yeah, that's why I was like, why?
Wait, stop. What do you mean? What do you mean I targeted you?
Did Morty?
Yeah.
Morty, it's on the hit. It's hit by +0 because the target is Bramble.
That's because I have 2 targets against the GM. However, the damage was only applied to the ooze down to the south.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have 2 targets up. One is for the monsters against you, and the other is for that thing against him. So
okay.
Here,
cool.
I will undo you for the next.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah, he rips into it, and it's like, the hell's that sticky stuff? He spits some of it out. He is done with his turn. This, and this. Okay, this first one coming out to attack you. And let's see, let me undo that. Okay, let's see what happens here. Wow. This thing is like one strike with a pseudopod. Oh, that actually hits. A second strike against you with a pseudopod. That actually hits. And a third strike against you. That misses by 7, so it's not quite a critical. And you can almost hear them sneer. Ha ha. Wait, we're learning. The first one is going to do 8 points of damage. The second one is going to do, where is it? There it is. Ooh, another 8 points of damage. I need you to make a fortitude save.
Fucking, is this gonna be the one where I roll a 1?
Oh, that's a 9. That's 22. Yeah, you still make it. Still make it. DC is an 18, so you're still good. With that one done, it like starts readjusting its tactics, and you can kind of tell it looks like it's about to move. The next one now goes stepping in a little bit to close quarters. That is going to eat up one of its jammies. It's coming up against you. That's a 1 and a 2. That is a miss on both. Miss and no.
It hits on one.
Yeah, the first one hit. The pseudopod lashes out. It does 7 points of damage against you. I need you to make another fortitude save. Oh, jeez. This is not looking good.
Okay, got it. 27.
Nice. Okay, all right. That one is done. The third one now coming out.
It has it could actually take me out if it.
Maybe, but remember, this thing has a -1 to hit. Okay.
Should have a -3.
Those are 2 saving throws, and what else? What was that? 2 saving throws and AC, I believe, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
I think that is coming after you. So, what's your AC? Yeah, that's a critical miss, by the way, because I rolled a -1, or excuse me, rolled a 1. That one also misses by 5.
Yes.
The third one.
Yes.
And a critical miss. All right. Wow.
Yay.
Holy cow. All right. So the first one was a miss by 5. Hold on. Where are you? Okay. That's a critical miss. So here it is. This is going to be your move 10 feet in a random direction by 1d8. Anybody in the chat, roll !D8. Let's find out what happens there. The movement triggers reactions. If you have any kind of a reaction, you can now take that against this. Morty's going to take a reaction, try to petrify it. Let's see. This is... Yep, that's going to be a DC 22 Fortitude. It fails by 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is also going to be slowed by 1. Morty's like, fuck this! And like stares at it intently. Alrighty, that's a little bit out of it. We don't have a D8 on screen, so let me roll got it here. That's gonna be a 2. So 1, 2. It can't go that way, so it's gonna go this way by 10. 2 would be right into the other one, so it's gonna get moved over there. Yeah. When it lashes out on you, you end up flicking its pseudopod away with your spear, causing the pseudopod itself to go like land over there, and then it can't let go and ends up pulling itself in that direction. And then the second one, hola KJ. The second fumble is going to be, oh boy, let's see. That is going to be target deals jaw damage. You end up biting it.
Him.
Do you want to do it, or do you want Morty to do it?
I mean, fuck it. She's just like going feral at this point. So she has the spear, and she sort of like pulls it into her. I think this is probably part of because she just tried to stab it.
Yeah.
So then she just goes like,
yeah, give me an unarmed. Oh, okay. It does damage. So yeah, you already hit it. Just roll damage for unarmed.
Sure, damage. Fucking with these ones, man.
3 points of damage to it, yeah. And you are not going to bite into it so as to be poisoned. So you're done. Bramble, you are up at the top of round 4.
All right, now's a great time to heal. So I'm gonna cast my healing.
Alrighty.
So I'm gonna target myself. Oh, I can't target myself. That's funny. Heal. Cast.
Ooh.
Heal. I'm just doing 1.
Okay.
And that is... Oh, how do I do this to myself?
Healing. 2.
Oh.
So click the healing button.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll fucking take a 6.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll take a 6.
There's your heal. So it comes back, and with that, the bleeding condition should also disappear. So there's your persistent damage gone.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Cool. And then I'm going to say, all right, enough's the fucking enough. We're gonna do fireball. I'm gonna do fireball.
Okay.
Hold on, let me do a 20-foot burst, and I have perfected the art. Here it is. All of you.
All right. Well, there we go. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. You know some of your leaves are going to be singed by this thing.
I'm sure.
Probably.
They have a DC 24 basic reflex.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Hold on for 1 second. Alrighty, so that is going to be this one, and this one. And that is going to be basic reflex saves. Let's see what happens here. Oh, God. 2 crit failures. A regular failure. Alrighty, so the first one is, let's see, that is going to be this one. Oh, lordy. Okay. That one is, that's going to take a good amount. Roll your damage.
Yes, I shall do that.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't like how many ones there are there, though. 15. I'll take a 15.
Your turn next.
Yeah, that one just, you just see it go, like it tries crying out into whatever world it had come from, but its voice was stymied by a corporeal death, and it couldn't reach out. And in so doing, you see it go, it like bubbles up and then crispifies until finally it's just, and like just dies.
Yeah.
The next one, let me see here. The next one is going to receive 15 points of, whoop, come on you. 15 points of damage, having failed its save for a total amount. You can see so much of it has been utterly destroyed. And let's see. Hey, KJ! Holy shit! KJ with the $8 tip. Thank you, honey. I really appreciate you. Oh my God.
Thank you, KJ.
Wow. KJ, that is so kind. Oh man. All right. Well, you're the only player here, so you're gonna get a benefit to that. $8, man. Wow, KJ, you were amazing. Thank you.
Thanks,
so you are going to receive, let's see, 1, 2. Let's give you 2 fortunes on your next 2 rolls. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Then the
Thank
next
you.
one also has a critical failure, and that is going to be double damage to that one, which likewise completely just shrivels up and dies.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
and I'm gonna look at that one as like the flames are like burning next to me. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna look, knowing it's the only one left, I'm gonna be like, who's next? And
Wow.
then that is the end of my turn.
Alrighty. He comes around and whoop, nope, that's not what I wanted. Morty's looking at this as like, this is how you fucking woke me up. You can see his wounds are impacting him severely, and getting disrupted in sleep is not going to allow him to heal fully. He's going to wake up in a fatigued state, so there might be a little bit of an issue there. In fact, I'll give him fatigue now. And he's going to attempt an attack on it. He seems pissed. He's not happy with this situation at all. He's just like, fuck this. And he's just, oh, wow. Critical hits. I'm going to just do critical damage to it.
Jesus fucking Christ. What oblivion does he send this one to?
He's like, fuck this! And his jaws wrap into it and he shakes it all about until he's done doing the hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey.
Yeah, and you just see like the splooshes of black land everywhere. These three things over the next minute or so slowly absorb into the earth until they can no longer be seen.
Oh.
What is more horrific is that there is no trace of them left.
As they are like, as like the final evidence of them being here happen, I am going to like be like, no, you don't get to leave that easy, not like the other guy. And I'm gonna put my hands, like bury them into like claw, basically like desperately claw, like I'm digging like a tunnel.
Sure.
And I'm gonna cast detect magic to see if I can get any indication of what they are.
You reach out and all the scintillating colors, you see them all start coalescing, many of them fading until only the objects on your body are those that remain. There's no magic where those were.
Okay.
What the fuck was that?
She's like got her hands like buried in the dirt at this point, and she's like heaving, like real fucking pissed. And then she stands up and she whips around and she's like, "What the fuck was that, Morty?"
That's exactly what I just asked.
No, you were sleeping, and I tried to wake you up, and you kept sleeping. Why were you sleeping?
He stops for a second, kind of takes a step back, and looks down at his wounds. Because I traveled a day and a half's worth of journey in a single day in a condition that looked like this so that we can get to a nice, safe place. I'm sorry I didn't wake up when your alarm called. It wasn't my alarm. Bramble, I'm sorry I abandoned you in my time of need of sleep, but I had no fucking control over that. Meanwhile, what the fuck happened here?
You're right. I'm sorry. Here, can I help you? And I'm gonna like scoop up earth and try to like cast healing plaster on him, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah, he's looking at you real quick. When you first come to him, he's a little bit on the sketchy side, but he like comes to his senses just after a quick like 10 seconds or so and exposes his wounds to you. Give me a medicine check.
Yeah.
Remember, this is with fortune.
Oh, with my plus 12, yes, please. That will be a 31.
So, what is your training in medicine? Are you just trained, or?
I'm trained.
You're trained. Okay. You're not an expert or anything, are you?
No.
Okay. He is going to receive 3 wounds. So you can spend about 10 minutes doing that on him. How do you want to roleplay this?
I think the first, because I want to do it to myself too. I think the first 10 minutes is like silent, and I'm a little bit humbled, like tail between my legs as I kind of work, and I'm like not looking at him. And then I go and I sit on the rock and like kind of pout for a second, and then as I'm like working my own, which I will do my check as soon as the dice moves out of the way. I think I get another fortune on that because it's my next roll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank God, because I got a 1 and a 10.
Yeah, it's all good.
22 for that one. As I'm like punching myself, as I'm like fixing myself up. Yes. I'm gonna say like, I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. That wasn't cool, Morty. I shouldn't have treated you like that. I was scared. You missed the I think. Did you miss the eyeball person?
What the fuck?
It was like a big fucking face. Listen, while you were sleeping,
He's like a beholder? Are you like an eye tyrant thing?
No. No, I read that book, not that one.
Oh.
It was like while you were sleeping, there was like these voices that were like laughing and like moving around and shit, and it came right up on me, and it was right in my face, Morty, and it was like all decrepit, like a lich, but like big.
No,
and just a face.
I saw nothing like that. He sits down, and subconsciously one of his 8 claws comes over just to pat the little jelly beans on the bottom, like coming over and like touching.
Toe beans?
It's got toe beans.
Art prompt for KJ. Morty's got toe beans.
Morty's toe beans. He's like subconsciously holding on to one of his wounds, and he's thinking for a second. I said that I was going to be journeying with you. I'm sorry that I wasn't awake for this. Oh God, I think we got our asses handed to us, but whatever the fuck has happened in this place, it's messing with our minds. It's messing with my mind. I couldn't sleep. I kept being visited by like 12 people and stuff like that. It was like all over the place. There were all sorts of languages and voices in my head.
Did you hear the word Zelrus at all? Did you hear
Zelrus,
the word that they were saying?
Zelrus? No. I heard, it's just something about, so there was at one point, all right, so there was this really hot chick, and she was like, I think that like she was a fae or something like that. But either way, I know they can change their, but she was kind of like my type, right? So she had like wings and claws and stuff like that. It's just what I like. Anyway, she was like, I think it was she. No, it doesn't really matter. The whole point was that she
was
kept.
This a dream?
Oh yeah. No, I was dreaming when you woke me up, and then I woke up and I saw those things, and it switched immediately over to nightmare. So,
okay.
Yeah, no. Gee, I was all right. So listen to this. I was bathing. God, I wish I could. I know. I was in a river bathing. Not only that, but it was like all bubbles around me. It was like I had a giant straw and I just got like blowing bubbles into and anyway, the bubbles were clean. So anyway, point is that I was in a river and I was getting clean and was like being, I don't know, and it felt good. I felt like as the water was kind of like forming a shell over me, and it kind of felt good. But the shell like a, I don't know, you ever take cow's milk in really cold climates until it gets kind of hard, and then you mix it up with other stuff, and then you kind of like dip it in this thing, and it kind of gets a hard shell. Anyway, it was something like that, but the water was kind of protecting me, and there were like 8, I don't know how many people. There were like all sorts of people. There was a freaking tree like looking down at me, just kind of going and making all sorts of deep sounds at me, and I couldn't understand anything. And one of them had said Bramble, and then the river, I started falling through the river, but that's only because the river ended up turning into a waterfall, and then I ended up going down into like a pool of water. And then I just found myself like trying to swim, and then I sunk down to the bottom of this, and that's where I found you. getting your ass handed to you by, I don't know, living jello. So
I'm struggling to figure out where the hot bay chick comes into play.
she was only there for like 2 seconds, but that's not the point. She kept calling out your name. Or, well, she wasn't calling out your name. She was calling out a name that was yours. You know those dreams where it's like, it's you, but it's not you. You know that it's you, but it doesn't actually look like you and doesn't go by the same name, but you know that it's you. It's like essence versus name. That's got to be the most intelligent thing I've ever said.
Okay.
You know what?
So,
it could also be just absolute delirium because I'm really tired.
Yeah. What a fucking trip. I'd love to hear more about that, but maybe we should finish up our long rest and try to sleep off what just happened.
Long rest? There's no long rest. And I'm looking out there and I can see on the horizon the sun's gonna come up soon.
All right, so are we headed more north now? Are we gonna keep going?
I'd like to get a little bit more sleep. I can't go on the way that I'm at right now.
Okay, well, yeah, we could finish up what we were doing, take another nap. Maybe I don't need to know the next stream. You're good. That's fine. We don't need to hear about you bathing. That's okay. You know, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna roll over, take a nap.
Yeah, sure. All right. All right, Altria. I'll see you later. Bye. And he goes back to sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can.
Altrea?
What?
Altrea?
Why does that
Altrea
name
as
sound
in-
familiar?
As in the Circle of the Verdant Dawn, Altrea?
Oh,
Wait,
is that
Circle of
that club you were telling me about?
The Druidic Circle, the Sacred Coven.
I'm sure
It's not really a club.
I don't know anything about any druids or anything like that. I just know, I just said good night, Bramble, and I was going back to bed. So
You said Altrea.
well, that doesn't seem right. But I don't know. Maybe that's her name. She had like. I mean, she was kind of. She was kind of a. Let's see. She kind of like, well, she's definitely Fae. I could tell you that she was Fae. She looked all blue. She had extremely long ears, like blue hair, blue skin, and everything like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I know that. I know who you're talking about.
Oh, you've had the same dream. Oh, that's really weird.
No, I know. I know who. That's a real person, a real Fae.
Really?
Yes. That. Wait, just to clarify, is Altrea the one that that was the fucking, what the fuck is she? She's the elemental, not the elemental. She's the.
You can give me a recall knowledge?
I don't need to if I had my notes. Hold on. Which one?
Society.
Oh, +2.
Nature. We can do nature. Since you're trying to recall somebody from that time, yeah, that's fine.
From that time. It's a 19.
Altrea was indeed the name of the individual who appeared at the tree of the island of the Golden Oak,
Yes.
and is one of the 11 members of the Circle of the Golden Dawn, of the Verdant Dawn.
Oh, I thought I found the notes. Yeah, she's the the druid, the fucking, what is she? She's a thing. I'm having trouble remembering her exact
I don't know.
thing.
I don't know exactly. I don't know what you're talking about. Druid? Is she a druid? I don't know. To me, she was somebody in a dream.
She's no, she's real. She helped me with my thing, and that is what she did. She's flowers and stuff. Is she here?
Well, I
Or
can
be
tell
here.
you that she had like a whole bunch of different colors going on, and there was like an otherworldly beauty about her. There was something about her that I really liked. And it's like she would appear and disappear in like this little dance of light, and it was just, it was pretty. Yeah, her voice sounded like it was constantly being carried on the wind, and it was always like
Nature dryad. You're thinking nature dryad. She's a nature dryad. She was my guide. She's got an ethereal flowing gown, flowers in her hair, ancient wisdom, that kind of vibe. Is that her?
flowers.
Yes, flowers in her hair. Yes, she was a nature dryad. She was like my tutorial level NPC when I went through.
What the hell is an NPC? Tutorial level? Are you okay? Maybe you're the one who needs sleep.
You know, I do. I actually do. I did a lot of fighting. Sorry, that was a low blow. Too soon. She helped me with the beginning of my journey, kind of whipping me into shape. She was who introduced me to the circle and who sent me on my first quest. And I don't know why she's suddenly showing up for you, especially since a couple of times I've called on her for help and she hasn't showed up for me. What did she tell you?
He like you see his eyes darting back and forth, trying to recall whatever it was. I heard her say your name, and that oh, that's right. There was something there that it was like every time she tried to speak, another voice would come out of her face, and it always sounded different. It wasn't like it wasn't her voice, but that's the voice that reached my ears. And then she was getting increasingly frustrated because her mouth was saying one thing, and what I heard was something else. Like, it didn't even match up with what she was saying. It was like something else that was in between us and trying to disrupt it all. But at one point, there was like one, hold on. Oh God, it's fading quickly because it's a dream. And you know how that kind of crap happened? All right, anyway, so there was like, all right, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over there.
12?
What?
You said 12 earlier.
No, well, hold
8
on.
to
That's what
12?
I'm trying to figure out, but you keep stopping me. I got to start all over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's a tree giant.
I think there's like 11 of them. Yeah, and one of them was
And
a
a
giant
satyr?
tree. Hold on. Hold on. It was a. Oh God! All right. So, over here on that side of me, the closest to me, one was a. One looked like a. That one's a dryad. Yeah. That one's a dryad. Like. Also, like a queen or something like that. I don't know.
Alicia.
I don't know. I don't know their names. They didn't come with name tag. They didn't say, hello, my name is. Then there was a satyr. Yeah. Right next to that one. There was a satyr.
Laura.
Yeah. I guess. And then there was a giant ass tree. That's the one that kept like leaning down with branches and like looking at me. And then there was an elf. And then there was
Algaris, Leora, Branwyn, Phelan, Seraphina, Rowan, Oakley, Willow.
I don't know who these names are, Bramble. I'm trying to tell you what I.
The Verdant Dawn. It's real. That wasn't a dream. That was a vision.
You mean I actually stand a chance with that hottie?
Oh my God.
I am just saying. Look.
Listen, Morty, the reason you fell through into that pool is because that pool is real. The waterfall is real. I had to go through the waterfall to get to the pool.
But I'm not wet right now. I'm not wet.
That's not how visions work.
Well, you're saying it was a vision.
Yes, it was a vision. I don't know why I haven't been able to connect with them, but you have. Maybe that's why it took so long for you to get out of that sleep. It wasn't just.
No, I didn't.
I
I absolutely wanted to stay there. They kept talking to me, and like it seemed like that they were trying to tell me something, but they couldn't tell me something because something constantly got in the way. and I don't know what it is. The tree kept pointing at another tree, and only the tree was like drawn on a rock, and the rock was the rock tree was not moving, but the real tree, the real tree, the alive tree was moving.
What did the rock tree look like, Morty?
Oh, it's just a drawing on there. It was like a giant tree, and then it kind of had. All right, so there was it was a giant tree. And then I had like a trunk, like a normal trunk. And then, hold on. Yeah, and then it had all like a whole bunch of roots that came out under it, right? And then it was like contained in a circle. But it wasn't a circle. It was like you take a circle and then you stretch it out.
Like, is he describing the shape of my amulet?
Yes.
Morty, do you remember the amulet that I used to carry before I traded it for the Star of Zara?
Oh, the one that you put down in the ground?
Yes. Do you remember that? It was why I came to you in the first place for the light.
Yeah.
Why were they pointing at a picture of my amulet on a rock?
I don't know. You left it behind for some hero, and you said you didn't need it anymore, right?
Well, it was more symbolic at that point, I thought, but now they're appearing to you in a vision.
I mean, they kind of, they were trying to talk to me, and I kept touching the thing because I like, I don't know if you know this, but I kind of like drawing, and I never really had an opportunity to draw. And so I was the one who drew it on the rock, and they wanted to know what that was. And give me a perception check.
Yeah, that was really fucking cute. Where's my perception? Jesus, 25.
Okay, hold on.
I've always wanted to draw. Oh yeah.
You can tell so I rolled a 20 on deception. You rolled a 25 on perception. You can tell he's like holding something back.
Morty?
Yep.
Do you trust me?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Yep.
Hold still. I don't know if this is gonna work.
Oh God. It's like his eyes start getting wider.
I'm going to take his big old head in my hands, and I'm going to, where's this fucking move?
Don't know.
Because we're talking about trees and roots and visions and mind shit, I'm going to look straight into his eyes, and I'm going to
he's like, I don't want to kill you.
Lines.
You're
I'm gonna tap ley lines.
Do you have a specific skill you would like to use to do that? It would be Arcana, Nature, Primal, or Occult, or Occultism.
I'm gonna do Nature because I have Arcana and Nature, but because it's the circle,
sure,
I'm gonna try to tap into Nature.
Okay.
And I'm also kind of pissed because the circle, I've been asking them for help a couple times now, and they haven't shown up for me in visions, and suddenly they're showing up in the stream. So I'm going to be like, Morty just lied to me. I'm a little pissed. Fucking rolled a 1, but I got a 15.
Yeah, there's no critical fail on skills. Roll again.
Okay. I got a 1 and a 20. So I got a 15 and a 34.
So role play it out. You have his head in your hands.
Yeah, and I'm gonna look straight into his eyes and I say, Altrea, where the fuck are you? And what are you trying to tell Morty?
I'm Morty. Oh, you're talking. Do you want me back? He's like trying not to move his head. Do you want me to be back asleep so you can talk to them with that? There's no response.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I'm gonna drop my hands.
Hold on. Whoa, stop. God. I'm tired. I'm starting to see things. Look, kid. And he pulls away. I gotta get some sleep. I'm seeing things. I'm looking at you and I see a big old tree. I gotta lay back down. The yesterday and the day before, they hit me hard. Bramble, he says as he tries reclining a little bit. We've been getting our asses handed to us from everything that's going on here. Ugh.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, we've been getting our asses handed to us. And I feel like I'm losing my mind. Ever since we stepped foot in this damn place, it's with the village back by the shore with all the mist that made out of blood or whatever the hell that thing was, and that circle in the middle, and all sorts of weird crap that was going on, and the sacrifice. What? I don't even know. And then we went out. And then some guy was out there, and then we came across a village, and then they tried to eat us alive, swallowing us like freaking snakes and burning out the village. And then I ran. I've got all wounds. I'm afraid I'm gonna fail you. And if you look on the inside of the cave walls where I used to live, where you found me.
Yeah.
There's a little rock laying on the ground. It used to be a big rock. Now it's a small rock. And I used to draw with that rock. So I guess over time it just got smaller. But anyway, I kept drawing. And I tried drawing a whole bunch of stuff on those walls on inside. I never... You remember when you told me that... You know when you came up and you saw a whole bunch of statues in front of where I live?
Mm-hmm.
And just a couple days ago, you said, Morty, I know you because you don't kill anything. You don't want to kill anything. You'd rather starve than kill, essentially, is what you say. I mean, I'm not using your exact word. I'm not putting your words in my mouth. What I'm saying is that you know me. I've been alive for a tick or two. And most people don't. They just steer clear. They see the face, they see the eyes, they just don't want to have anything to do with me. And I came into a place that had a whole bunch of fae. And they don't give a shit. They don't care. There's they are chaos personified. They know, they were like, ooh, basilisk. And then they just kind of whatever. They just let me take up residence in a cave. I drew pictures of every single person that ever affected me. And one day I want to be able to get back there so I can add your picture to that. And so it's the biggest picture. The biggest person who's ever affected me, because you may be small, but you are the mightiest one ever. And I feel like I've just been letting you down routinely. I want to get back to my cave where it's safe and dry and where I can draw my people. I want to put you on that wall. I'm hurting. That village, a couple of days, I'm gonna have scales coming off of me, just dropping off because of the fire. And those fangs on those face snake things. I think one of them poisoned me, but they didn't really realize what it was that they were poisoning, so I'm not really poisoned. But it kind of hit me a little bit, and it was really bad. But I look at you right now, and all I see is like we're out here in the middle of, I don't know, what kind of environment you call this, and whatever this place is called. This is steppes. STEPPE, something like that. Anyway, plains, but
yeah.
Plains but no rain. When he says plains but no rain, you realize you have been suffering a little bit from dehydration. There's not been a lot of water recently. It's been getting pretty bad. So, yeah, I just looked at you right now, and I just saw a giant tree in the middle of all this place. There's not been a real tree like what we've seen. There's not been any real trees in this damn place. It's like nature's here. Nature's under us. Nature is this rock and the grass and the underbrush and that little thing. And he's like
but
pointing.
Nordaga's not here.
Nordaga is here. I mean, you're the priest of Nordaga. I'm not, but I mean, I feel nature. It's just not the nature that we're accustomed to. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we're far from home. We're far from home, Bramble, and I'm scared. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Every time you speak, well, a couple of minutes ago, every time you spoke, I kept hearing, like your words kept echoing, and every time there was like, I don't know, a tree. You know what it looks like? It reminded me of that tree that I saw in the dream. I think the dream is fading, but anyway. Look, what I'm trying to say is, he, from his pseudo-sleeping position, he uprights himself with a little bit of effort and goes over to your backpack and opens up one of the pouches. And it's like, I've been meaning to put inside of that pocket something that belonged to you that I think you said was very important to you at one point, and then you ended up leaving it behind as a promise, but then that promise always failed, and I kind of felt like I knew that it was going to happen that way anyway, because this world is a dump, and the world never quite works, and you have a lot more optimism than I do. Well, you know how many times that you've been walking ahead of me, and I just like tried to make it look, oh, fuck. And he reaches back and underneath the scale. After you buried it, I took it back, and they've been talking to me ever fucking since.
You took my amulet?
Well, when you took the star from the ground in that grave with the promise that you were going to return it and this, that, and the other price, I figured they're not going to use it. They're dead. What are they going to use your trinket for? But I knew that it was something that was going to be important to you, so I kept holding on to it. And only recently, I mean, at first I kind of heard like, I don't know, some sort of noise. Sometimes it sounded like screams in my head. And I can't go around pretending... I can't go around pretending that I'm always in control, but I try to, because you need a rock every now and then to lean up against, and just to keep you on your course and let you know that you're doing the right thing. You know, looking for the last seed of the first Leshy and all that. Anyway, the point is that this is yours. And he reaches over to the backpack and he puts it into the pouch. Maybe now I'll finally get some damn sleep. Maybe that's why they haven't been talking to you.
Do you really want to leave to go back to the cave?
Only after this is done.
So not now?
No, hell no. No, I told you I'm with you until the end. I just want to be able to get back to the cave so I can draw your picture on the wall as the person who influenced...
I gave him a big hug. I don't even let him finish.
All right, this is cool. That's good. You begin to
Mwah.
feel his muscles relax, and you
I
give
love
him.
you, Morty.
Love you too, kid. Can we get some sleep now?
You can. I'm gonna wear the necklace and maybe they'll talk to me.
All right. And he just lays down, his eyes not closing, just kind of like looking at you from the side of his head. And you see him just kind of like readjust for a second, but you can also tell he's just readjusting just so he can get a better lay of the land around us. He's like, yeah. Hey, no trees that are moving. That's good. All right, I'm going to go back. I hope your 11 friends keep you awake for the rest of the night. Christ, they're noisy. And he like closes his eyes and goes back to sleep.
And I'm going to, as soon as I know that he's like snoring back to his old self, I'm going to put the necklace back on.
Immediately, you can hear like it's distant. It's extremely distant. It's almost garbled. It's like, you kind of hear something. It's really incredibly quiet, and you kind of make out some things, but it's really difficult. May I have a perception check? And this is as soon as you put it on, you can feel a connection reestablish itself.
Yeah. Oh, God. 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. There's an odd comfort that comes with putting the trinket back on around your neck. Around you, this land has been plagued by something recently. And it seems like you're more caught in the middle of it. Whether it is nightmares or madness or something, you're uncertain. But you know that when you put it on, you can recognize that somehow, some way, they've been trying to communicate with anyone who wears the trinket.
I'm gonna like hold it tight and like wrap my vines on the inside, kind of like wrap itself, like cocoon themselves around it, and like squeeze a little bit. And I'm gonna say, "I'm here, Altrea. What are you trying to tell me?"
See that lone tree standing tall.
Something about a tree standing tall. Which tree?
Shadows stretch and playful echoes call.
Shadows stretch and playful echoes call. Okay. That's what happened last night. That happened last night.
I found somebody else.
Did she fucking curse at me? Okay, there's no need for that language, Altrea. Can you try again?
Listen, you asshole. I'm trying to...
Circle of the Verdant. Damn.
It's a circle of the burden. Anyway.
Oh my god, Altrea. Okay.
See the lonely tree. And all where shadows stretch and playful echoes call.
I'm putting it right into my ear, like inside of my ear. Altrea, you're breaking up.
You put it
I'm
in
all the
your
way in
ear.
yeah, I do. I'm all the way in Gelpalum. You're gonna have to speak up where I'm out of service. Out of range.
You can tell that the voice on the other side doesn't understand what it is that you're really trying to say. But the message does feel fragmented, and yet it's almost like a gentle touch, like the brush of a familiar hand that has caressed your mind upon hearing that voice. And it is one that you have come to recognize, and you do know that it is a subtle nudge but it's a nudge. It's a push from the circle of the Verdant Dawn. The voice, usually so clear, now it just sounds impossibly distant and faint, echoing as if it's at the far end of a long tunnel. The really difficult part of all of this is that there's also a jarring sensation that occurs during the interruptions.
Mm-hmm.
You can see whenever she's saying stuff like,
that alone vast expanse where grass that's
and it's like immediately you see visions of twisted faces and contorted in agony. Like they just poof, poof, over here to your left and to your right, and then an immediate vision of that face that you just saw before it disappeared and the oozes came in. And then you hear whispers like of despair and paranoia begin clawing at the edges of your consciousness, attempting to drown out her guiding voice. Her message is lost amidst a cacophony of intrusive thoughts, leaving you only with fragments to piece together.
I am going to like start to panic and say, no. Where, come back. And I'm going to cast Show the Way on the amulet to kind of like slingshot myself to her to get anything clear before I come back.
So it's going to take 10 minutes for you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It'll target you and Morty. So if you want, it's you and anyone within 5 feet that you deem an ally. So just keep that in mind. When you do that, you start getting notions of what lies ahead. You have ideas and you start like flashes, imagery of things that just simply begin appearing in front of you. One of them is a tree. The same kind of tree that Morty has been trying to tell you about, but he said it was like the big alive tree, but not like the big alive tree.
Does it look like Aviant's tree, but not like Aviant's tree?
No, it actually looks like a completely different tree. This one is an oak. It's old, it's dried up a little bit, some of its branches are dead. It seems to fit in with this area. And then you can see, like, there you see yourself looking out over the horizon, and it is perfectly flat. You can see the small curve of the planet. I mean, it's just all around you. But somewhere out there, you also see a small mound that interrupts that fine horizontal line. And you see that, and then you just get and then another vision, and it appears to be like a hill, completely sunlit. And then lastly, another slap in the face with a vision. And there's something about it appears to be a stone, and at first you say, and at first it's like a series of visions that come first from the distance, a small little blip on the horizon, and then it gets a little bit closer, and you can see it's like something, well, just a larger object. And the third vision, you can say, oh, it's actually a stone. The fourth vision, oh, it actually has a flat face. And on the fifth vision, you can see there is something actually carved into it, ancient runes that you don't recognize at all. But you can tell that this large weathered stone, it immediately causes you to go back in time to your archives back home.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a lore check, a knowledge recall. Yeah, this is going to be one of your lore master checks.
Can I ask you a question before I roll that based on what I know?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the rune? Is it the symbol of Zelrus?
No, it is not.
Okay.
No, it's carvings, but no deity symbols.
That's a natural 20.
Fuck.
for a 31.
31. That's the important thing in skills. All right, so
Yeah.
you get you seem to remember stories about this portion of the world. Most of your concentration in recent months has been on the Zeroily Riders. You've always wanted to visit them. They are a neighboring nation to your own, yet you know nothing about them. Now that you finally know something about them, the mystery is demystified, and then, other things like that. But you do remember that in between all the Zeroily Rider stuff, there was also some Geopolome stuff, which is where you are now. And their history is much less known, but you end up going back in history. And that's when you remember a particular text. It was an old text that it was found by some human sage who came to discover the rest of the world and other things, and just fucking ended up dying probably because he licked a poison frog or something. Just completely unknown, like what this world actually is outside of civilizations. At the end of the Second Age, when humans and elves and dwarves and halflings and orcs and all others to now were trying to carve out an existence in their world, the Italti were still around. When they banded together to take out the most powerful of them during the Ride of the Hunt, a sense of peace came over the world, but mortals were never built for peace. Scythia instead put in them a will for war. And so they had begun to war with themselves, carving out territory in former kingdoms, till when the Third Age finally arose, and all the way out to the west, the Fanuel Empire said, well, that which would become the Fanuel Empire. King Ostereg came up and said, no, we need to stop this. Let us unite. And instead of acting like a tyrant, which all the Italti had been, which this was only 64 years ago for you that the Fanuel Empire died. I think. Hold on. Let me look this up.
It was very close. It happened very recently.
Yeah, I have it now in front of me. I have the entire timeline here. And I just went over this too in the stream. This was, 3 years ago. The Ride of the Hunt concluded a 2-year campaign against the Italti, ending with the death of Melorix of Agaxi. That infamous city, black obsidian spires that seem to profanely reach up to touch the heavens. Impossible constructions started to collapse with Melorix's death. And over the past 3 years, mortals have been trying to find their own, while those of nature, like yourself, have been trying to hold on to their own. You kind of get the idea. Everything that you are seeing here is happening fast, well beyond the pace of nature. And all of your elders back in your home, they don't understand it because nothing has ever moved so fast as the life of a mortal. These elves, etc. The elves are long-lasting. Of all the humanoid races down to the south and southwest, they tend to live the longest. Then the dwarves and the halflings, then others, and then finally the humans. But the humans are the ones most adaptable of them all. A series of races collected underneath a term called Clane. Those are the ones who have been waging the most war. And this area was once a refuge, not too long ago, of some people who had come together. You remember back now with your 31 recall knowledge. Geopolome is still a land of mystery. It's farthest out to the east. It's the easternmost country on the continent of Erin. And you kind of have this remembrance. Other things used to live here. And the surge which created the Atalti also created other things. The elves, the longest living of them all, settled everywhere but concentrated in Withtaril far to the west. But that wasn't the only place that they came. They also came out here. And one of them was known as Gilles. Before, of course, it was turned into a harpy of discord.
Oh. What? Okay. Did I just get the fucking origin story of a harpy of discord?
What do you want to do with this?
I rip my cocoon vines off of the amulet, and is it morning time? It's probably morning time by now.
You have probably been awake, yeah. You're going to suffer a little bit, and we're going to say that you are fatigued. But
okay.
yeah, we will say that if you want to stay up until dawn, that's fine. Morty, meanwhile, went back to bed.
Yeah, well, I want to wake Morty up, so if it's morning time, I'm gonna do that. By the time I'm done trying to figure out all this stuff.
He wakes up, albeit uncomfortably. Ow! You're gonna have to let me rest. What? Is something
Sorry,
trying
buddy.
to kill us?
What do you know about harpies? Harpies of Discord. The harpies of Discord.
Yeah, half eagle, half woman, big boobs. They fly around, they steal eggs and shit.
Cool, that's a great description. One of them was an elf.
Harpies, what? What?
One of them,
What?
one of the elves
Yeah.
that settled in Gilles Palom
Yeah.
was named Gilles and turned into a harpy of Discord.
What? Do we have coffee?
What's coffee? Hot bean water?
Hot
no, we don't
bean
have any
water.
hot bean water.
Damn it. Oh, I hate this place. What do you... His eyes are still closed, and he's talking through, like... he's talking through the haze of sleep. What are you saying?
Okay, so you know, history lesson. You know the surge, the thing that goes.
Yeah, when somebody died, and yeah.
Yeah. So the surge is what changed a bunch of shit over here into weird shit.
Yeah.
And one of those weird things was the Gilles, who became a harpy of Discord, which is probably, I don't know how it connects to this, but there's a bunch of dark, spooky shit that's been happening that looks weird. I've never seen stuff like this before. There's the human mouths with the snake bodies, and the winged creatures with the weird forever mouths, and the black, like, obsidian skin, like the void, the color of void, the color of nothing. And then you've got the fucking whatever those green goop balls were, and then you got the weird big huge decrepit head, and then you got like all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's all surge shit. That's all surge shit.
What?
That's all surge shit.
All right. But it happened like, oh God, that happened a long time ago, right? Didn't that happen a long time ago?
Sure, but it's still here, and that includes Gilles probably still here too.
He like sits up for a second, and like his eyes squinting against the morning sun, looks out over the plains. Well, it's still the same place, damn it. All right, all right, what do you want me to do? I'll help
I
you.
don't know.
Do we need to kill an elf? Is that what you're saying?
We need to kill a harpy of Discord. Maybe that will stop.
What?
everything else. I don't know. I got all this discombobulated
His eyes
information at once.
His eyes start blinking like wide open, and he's like, we're not going to kill a god, Bramble.
Yeah, that's probably not the best thing. We should go find the last seed of the first Leshy. I'm saying on the way, we might come across a Harpy of Discord. And if we do come across a Harpy of Discord, we have to kill her before she kills us.
I don't think that's possible. I don't think that we can do that. I don't.
Well, then we gotta hide the rest of the way. I don't know. We have to go find the last seed, but also...
Didn't that shit happen like thousands of years ago? And chances are they're not gonna know that there's a little walking plant and an 8-legged thing walking around on these lands. Hell, they can even barely manage man-headed snakes. Sure?
Well,
are they out after? Oh fuck! Are we dead? We're dead, right? Is that what you're saying? We're just dead people walking?
I hope not. But I don't know what this all has to do with the Rite of the Hunt, which ended 3 years ago. But the Rite of the Hunt ended 3 years ago, and Melarix died from the. That's why it ended, if you remember, because it happened 3 years ago.
I draw pictures, stick figures on my wall inside of a. Oh God! All right. He finally sits upright on all 8 of his legs, and is looking out. Okay. Which way do we go? No, sorry, that's not what you were saying. You were saying something about an elf and a harpy and how we have to kill a god. Bramble, I don't think I'm falling asleep. I don't think we can kill a god if we came across one, and I don't think I would know what one looked like if I saw it. Let alone one of these harpies of discord or anything. I don't know what that is. Look, these are stories that others spoke about, even amongst the great basilisk empires of 2023. I'm making shit up. I don't fucking know. What I'm saying is that these... All right. I give up. Tell me where to go. I'm with you. Come on.
Okay, maybe we should start with some hot bean water. And
You said we don't have any.
We got Heal a Hero from KJ, who heals
What?
Morty completely. So I throw, I find a little
Holy
cup
shit.
in my bag. I find a little cup in my bag and I throw some dirt in there, and then I put some sap in there and then some spit, and I stir it up. I'm like, turns into healing plaster, and I go.
It's
Hot bean water.
It smacks down, so you go right on him.
Mm-hmm.
He sits up for a second, and just as the glint given off by the moisture of that, along with the angle of the sun just now coming over the mountains, he starts to sit upright, his entire body completely covered in a healing aura. Then the sun manages to crest over the mountains. All right, we're going north. I kind of feel like I can do calculus right now. I don't know what that means, but we're going to do it.
Sounds great. I can't wait to learn.
Yeah. We'll talk about factorials on the way. Come on, let's go.
I don't know what that is. Let's go.
It's all right, nor do I. But something just came into my brain, and we've got the brain thing going on. So let's do this. He stands there, not to detract from the gravitas of the moment, and he seems secure in this. You don't know what power reached out in the mud and it caused you to bring it together and heal him completely. but he seems focused and still. Morty, who's usually shifting in place like me, just moving every now and then. He's got ADHD. He's like, oh, look, there's a rock. And oh, look,
spicy king.
there's a beetle. Yeah, exactly. He's a neurospicy basilisk. He seems still and focused. And instead of the usual jerky movements of his head, he seems with the warming sun upon his lizard-like body. He looks towards the north and then adjusts his body to fit that direction. He raises one claw. We're going that way. And now, I have an idea. Something about a tree.
Mm-hmm.
He looks over his shoulder with you on. You're on his back, I assume?
Yeah.
All right. Where are we going? What do you know?
I know that there's a tree that's not a tree in the land of shadow and stretching shadow and laughter. Laughter? Is that what it was? Laughter?
I don't know anything about laughter.
Voices? Voices or laughter? It was hard to tell. Altrea was not very clear. A couple times she cursed at me.
So we know that we need to look for a tree somewhere.
Yes. And it's I feel like I'll know it when I see it.
All right. Got your trinket?
Got my trinket.
Got your backpack?
Got my backpack.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's go. He begins moving forward. The strength in his limbs hasn't been felt since the first days that he had been traveling with you. And then finally, at once, while you two are talking out there, and the conversation is just boom, 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 just trading off of the information and what have you, it actually feels a little bit on the magical side. Around you, the world is needing moisture. It needs rain. These steps haven't seen rain in a very long time. But you can feel guided on. Give me a religion check.
Okay. Religion. That's a 7.
A 7?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
about
see,
that.
hold on. Your religion is nature. I apologize. Reroll for nature. Sorry about that.
Thank God.
Sorry, I forgot. Dryads in Evindale are clerics of Nordaga, which is nature. So yeah.
That is a 22.
There, at first, it appears as lightened moods, rejuvenation, energy from no other place other than the dirty bean water. And then you can feel it with every single one of the smooth footsteps of Morty. Of what?
Tracks?
Tracks. I mean, he's definitely leaving tracks behind, sure, but nonetheless, with every single one of the 8 legs that he has, it's a smooth ride across. And you can feel it touching in through you, using Morty as a conduit down to the ground. Every time that he does that, visions of the desolate world around you, something that has been plagued by something that has been existing in this area for a long time. You look around and you feel Nordaga. You are reminded Nordaga is all of nature, not just the bountiful harvests or the avalanches, these two extremes, but instead those moments when there seems to be nothing, and then you look down and you can see some beetles, you see some ants, and over there you see some worms, and you are reminded that everything is exactly as Nordaga deems it to be, or rather, according to her plan. There is ahead of you on the horizon a long distance to travel. Is there anything in particular that you are looking for? Anything in particular that you would like to do? You are feeling parched. There's not been rain. And typically you can just feed off of the sun like any other plant, but you do need moisture. Is there anything that you would like to do?
I want to. I feel like I took a feat that allows me to be super plant-like. Maybe I didn't. Okay. I mean, I think I'm going to be looking around for any evidence of a harpy being nearby. I think I'm more concerned about that. And
what's the evidence? Like, what are you looking for?
Maybe the claws, like the slash marks from the village. Because now I don't think that Bramble is convinced that that thing was what it was. That flying thing with the weird mouth. Like maybe it had something to do with Gilles.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. 28.
A bird flies overhead, east to west. You track it, looking out there, lost in your thoughts about harpies and that thing back in the village on the shore that flew above, and the faceless creature and all sorts of things. Then you hear something that you heard just outside of the village. It sounds like a cry of some kind. A horn. But much more than that.
That I remember that sound. What? I'm sure Bramble remembers. I don't remember. What happened? That sound came before the flying thing attacked, right?
Mm-hmm. Or at least it sounded like that. Give me a perception check.
Okay. So that sounds super familiar. 24.
What you heard back in the village, a horrific cry that came from up above. You recall it in your head. You close your eyes and dissolve the warming morning sun on your skin. And then you remember what it sounded like. You remember that sound. And then you recall when it came again. Odd sounds. Things that were not of this world. But then you hear it again. Something that rings out.
Where's it coming from?
Ahead.
Morty, do you hear that?
Yep.
What is that?
Don't know.
Are we gonna keep going towards that?
He hasn't stopped.
I'll get out my spear.
It happens again. It's distant. Very far away. Very much ahead of you. And then, when it calls out one more time, you feel compelled to look at it in the distance and see if you can find it somewhere. And then you see it on the horizon, going north. A large stag.
Is it magical looking? Does it look like the stag that I thought was dead?
As you begin to approach, at first it just looks like a bump on the horizon, but there seems to be something coming off of it, and your mind begins putting together, okay, that could be antlers. And then as you get a little bit closer, and Morty, understanding your excitement behind it, begins picking up pace a little bit. You guys have now covered miles. Already, you have covered miles. When you finally get a little bit closer, like another, you've traveled quite a distance by now. When you finally get a little bit closer, you can see it is in fact it is an antlers. It's an entire rack of antlers. You've seen this before.
This is the stag.
So it is. Alrighty.
What's it doing? I thought it was dead. I thought you were dead. I'm sorry. I thought you were dead.
Honey, I think it's still like a full day's ride out. I don't know if it can hear you unless it has magic. Maybe. You know what? I'm just gonna shut up and keep going.
It's a magic stag. Maybe it hears me. I'm gonna pull the amulet up and whisper into it like I thought you were dead.
There's no response from it, but you can still feel a connection when you pull the amulet closer to your face.
Altrea, I found the stag. I'm gonna follow it. Also, there might be a harpy around here. Bramble out.
There's no sense of what that is. But he's like, all right, I see the bump on the horizon. I'm going to continue going. And as he lifts up one leg in order to indicate the other 7 are just doing their job, I'm going to continue, going that. All right, well, I guess I'm going to continue going that direction. It just freaking nope, it's a little bit off to the west now. All right, now we're going in this direction. And he quickly changes course, but it's like by 3 degrees. It's nothing much. And then as you begin getting closer, you see that the stag itself has now remained stationary.
Yeah.
But as you get closer, the rack of antlers now turns into the canopy of a tree.
Is that the tree? Morty, do you see the what?
Yep.
What does the deer look like now to you? Does it look like a tree?
Seek the lone tree, standing tall where shadows stretch and playful echoes call.
Echoes, not laughter. That's the tree. This is the tree that Altrea was talking about, Morty.
All right, we're going, but you start getting a little bit closer, and you can tell that it's like there's a little bit more feature that begins to rise up on the horizon. You guys have now traveled a little bit more, just to give you an idea as to where we are on that.
Okay.
So you've
Holy
now
shit.
traveled some here.
Yeah.
And you now travel a little bit more. Coming up, we're going to use not the red path, but the fog of war, if you will, of the hexes. He begins to veer off to the west just a little bit, and then off to the north once again. And he is traveling at a quickened pace. And again, you hear something just as you begin to arrive where the stag supposedly was. He looks at it, stopping for a second. I could swear that thing was around here and that this tree was here. The only damn thing that I see here is a fucking hill. The antlers turned into a tree, and then the top of the tree, all rounded and whatnot, turned into a hill. And then you hear,
Beyond the horizon, where the earth meets the sky, a mound rises under the sun's watchful eye.
What time is it right now?
it's later in the day.
Okay, so it's not going to be here. It's going to be there. And I'm going to point to, like, where the line is.
So, yeah, and you're taking a look at everything, and you swear, give me a perception check.
Yeah. With my perception, roll plus 14. 22.
You think you see a dot on top of the hill. And then as you get a little bit closer, the dot enlarges. Of course, so does the hill. And the dot does seem to be a tree on a hill.
There it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. That way.
Going. He begins keeping a pace. Before nighttime comes, he is like looking out at that area. And and you can feel his back slowly inclining as he starts getting up in there. In the hilly areas. And he evens out, and then it increases again, and your eyes are always on the focus. And it is indeed an incredibly large tree on top of a hill. Not supernaturally large, just very, very large. When you finally get close, you can see small bumps all around it. Rocks and other things like that. And then it reaches out again.
In the heart of the plains.
And you can look all around you, and you can see that this is steps everywhere, and this is a solitary tree on top of a hill. But now you can see that there's other trees elsewhere as well, but they're not like this one.
Morty, I think this is the tree that
All right.
came in our visions.
Yep, I'm going.
In the heart of the plains where the wind sings its song. Find the stone with a mark where memories belong.
We need a stone. We need a stone. Do we see a stone?
Yeah, I see lots of stones. Hell, there's rocks over there and over there. And what are you talking about, stones? You remember there was a vision of a stone that with a flat face.
Yes, with the runes that I said was that I thought that they were the Zelrus, but it wasn't. Yeah, runes carved into a stone face. Yep. I'm gonna look around for one of those.
It's the end of night. You're quite a ways away. You want to push on, or
no? Because listen, Morty, Altrea said that it's with the sun needs to be out, and the sun's no longer out. We gotta rest.
All right, that's fine. The area that you're in now, you've traveled quite a ways already, and it seems like you're out there in the middle of it all, when in reality you're closer to your mark. Morty has wanted to continue this entire time. But now that you're up in hills and what have you, and you can see way off to the northwest, mountainous peaks rising up and a darkening of the sky, even darker than the night that seems to be crawling in on this. One moment. Nice. You know what I rolled.
Wait, did you roll a 6 and a 9?
Of course I did. Yeah, I rolled a 69 because I rolled percentile. He finds a place. That's going to be our marker.
Nice.
Nice. So he finds a place that's a little bit low. You can hear the nighttime activity beginning to kick up around you. There's a wonderful sense of life that comes with a swamp. Nearby hills and their rivulets have leaked into this area, but with no place for it to go, the water has collected into what might as well just simply be a swamp. Looking around, you can tell that there's a wonderful, a wonderful sense of, well, like I said, life. As crickets begin to make themselves known, or katydids, creatures moving in the distance just underneath the surface of the water. And for once you kind of feel like you're a part of it, surrounded by it, on a safe piece of land, on a like a little outcropping in between a tree and another rock, a little nook. And that's where your friend found a safe place for you to sleep. Give me a fortitude save.
Oh, I don't like that I had to roll that. 28.
You get a long rest. So does Morty.
Yeah.
And in the dream that you had during the overnight, while you were there, you woke up in the middle of the night. You looked out and you could see the little ponds of water here and there. You can hear the song of the insects and the creatures that bubble up just underneath the depths of the marsh.
Mm-hmm.
And yet amongst it all, you blink your eyes and then you see a different world, and then you blink again and you see the marsh. And then you can hear like a laughter, like you had said before.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see a tree. And the tree itself is on fire with the morning sun's light. It is completely alit. And then by it, a stone. And the stone itself is sparkling as if a shiny piece of metal or a mirror caught the reflection of the sun, is bouncing it right back into your eyes. You see a mark appear in the sky formed by clouds, and then an entire swarm of birds comes, a flock of birds comes, and like a what are they called? The birds
Flock
that just
of seagulls?
No, 80s bands. Jesus, really? You had to pull that one out. No, starlings. Like
Starlings.
and then they turn.
Yeah.
All of them then highlight that glyph. You don't know what that glyph is, and then it just flies off until finally you wake up again. The morning has come. The swamp atmosphere around you has not dissipated. It's still very much alive. Just like you. Just like Morty. And just like Barbara, who's still in your backpack this entire time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Morty, when you wake up, is already sitting up. He's just scratching his chest, like looking around. You know how I look this way?
Mm-hmm.
The things in the water, they have the same amount of teeth, but their mouth is a lot longer, and they only have 4 legs. Suckers.
What the fuck are you talking about? I'm gonna look in the water.
Yeah, and you see a gator kind of go underneath the water.
I was like, what the fuck? All right, Morty, that's just an alligator.
Yeah, well, they only have 4 legs.
Yeah, they're still. They could kill me. So
They're not gonna kill you, kid. Come on, we've got some work to do. Let's go. He's like cutting you off. He seems he's like predisposed to all of this.
Yeah. I'm gonna climb on his back.
You ready?
Yep, let's do this.
All right. It begins moving out. The swamp, after a little bit of time, begins to disappear into the background until finally you're out on the plains again. But this time when you come back out of that little gully where all of that swamp was, and you come back out and you can see all the steps around you. Man, is this earth alive when light hits it. The steps haven't seen water in a very long time, but here you can see ahead of you and above you the tree, alone on top of a hill. You got that close.
That's the tree. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm on it. And he begins moving up there. When you finally arrive, you see a majestic old oak. It has seen the ravages of time. Its trunk is pretty much cracked and hollowed out near the base. Its roots pretty much dead, but the wood on the sides just under the bark is still absorbing water from the roots down below. And then you look at the ground and you can see its roots extending out for like another 25-30 feet all over the place, any place in order to find water. And then you see a big ass root that goes down the way, and then you just take a quick look over a very small ridge, some like 70 feet away or so, and you can see that it had tapped into a small pond nearby that is always fed by a slow stream of water from some of the hills beyond. Remembering that you are a little bit dehydrated, you might want to do something about that, but in the meantime, Morty will absolutely assist or bathe in it for the most part. I don't have a star to blow bubbles from here.
I got you, and I'm gonna jump in and just like start splashing all around.
Yeah, give me the bubble bath, baby. And after a little bit of time, after you guys have bathed and actually feel rejuvenated, the late morning has come. You come up, the sun now fully on this area, but it's still early. And then, give me a perception check.
Yeah. Wait, where's my character? Oh wow. Let me move that all the way up. Woo. That will be a 27.
Oh, jeez. Okay. You remember? Do you remember what was said? The last thing?
That about the sun? Yeah, sun high up in the sky, so we gotta wait till noon.
What did you roll?
27.
In the midst of illusion, where laughter does play, beneath the sun's longest shadow, the ring finds its way.
Not that thing. I thought you were talking about sun highest in the sky, which would have been noon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Longest shadow.
Yeah. Okay. Beneath the longest shadow. Where are the shadows?
All over the place. I mean, I'm not joking. It's shadows everywhere. The sun is over the horizon. We're looking at around 10:30 a.m. Keep in mind, I define morning as like midnight to noon. So
Yeah.
late in, around 10:30 or so, 10:30 a.m. The shadows are long, but they're not longest.
Would it be dusk?
Could be.
I'm gonna.
But what are you doing during this time with the time that you have?
I'm gonna remind Morty of that line and say, I think we gotta wait until like for a certain time.
Okay. All right. Well, we can do that. That won't be a problem. Do you want to wait till nighttime, or do you want him to look around for something now, or?
Well, the sun sets in the west, so we should be on the east side of it, right? Because then the shadows stretch out that way. The
sun
longest.
doesn't set in the west here. It may set elsewhere over there. No, it always sets in the east here. It's true. Evindale has an opposite spin to it. The planet.
Yeah, so Bramble totally knows that. So
yeah, you would actually. Honestly, you would. You 100% would.
So the sun sets in the east, so we should be on the west side, where the shadows would be the longest, right?
Yep. That's where the sun rises. So, but right now it's over there. Well, it's actually over there. If you're looking for like the longest shadows, if I understood your mumblings right, then yeah, that's not going to give it to you. It's going to be. He like drifts off in thought for a second and then goes up on top of the hill and stands next to the tree. And then he's like looking around, and there's a stone in front of him, and he just kind of like props up on the stone just for a second to kind of get a bigger look. And as you look at the stone, you can see there's a whole bunch of ancient writing on it. And it's
This
like
is the
looking
stone.
around. What? Hold on, I'm looking out there to see where we can get the best vantage. What?
This is the stone that was in my vision. The stone with the runes carved into it.
What, this thing? A Talon taps
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, look.
He comes back down. Oh, it's got some fancy writing on it. All right.
Hold on.
What are we supposed to do?
I have a feat for this.
Okay.
I have orthographic mastery.
Oh, okay.
It says, you understand the principles that underlie all written words, allowing you to read nearly any text. You can attempt to decipher writing using Lore Master lore in place of the required skill.
Roll decipher writing.
Okay. Well, hold on. It has to be Lore Master lore. Here we go. 20.
Not good enough.
Fuck! It's the one time I wanted to use it.
Oh no, you don't have any more hero points.
Oh, wait. Do we get one after a long rest?
No, only at the beginning of the game or when you accomplish particularly heroic feats. Is there anything that you may have done recently that would give you a hero point?
Yeah, that last combat was pretty fucking dope.
That's every single RPG. No offense. What did you do that was particularly heroic? Things you solve that are unique to your character that would allow them to stand out in the stories of bards that would earn you a hero point.
Recently, recently, like, within the last couple sessions, that fucking, it would be known as the Comet of, the Clove Comet. It's the Clove Comet. It was when I did Blazing Dive into the roof.
Blazing Dive. All right, that was last game. I mean this game.
Oh, you mean this? Okay, you said recently.
That's
Okay,
fair,
so this
that's fair.
game.
And keep in mind, audience, I mean, there's only 3 of us, but if you have an idea, love to hear it.
Bramble didn't really do anything particularly bardically heroic. She just kind of did her thing.
Okay, there's a couple of lurkers out there who may have been listening, just kind of tuned in just to check us out, and I know who you are, but I'm not going to call you out. If there's anything here that you feel she would have, let me know. Let us know.
In the meantime, I guess I will just kind of vamp it. So, these are the runes, and I don't know what they say. But this is part of the vision.
Well, all right, hold on. Let me get my eyes on it. All right, it's that funky looking one. What does that mean? He has no idea what the fuck he's talking about, but it's enough of a different vantage that you can try again, but it gets at a higher DC for every time you check, so get and roll.
Okay. All right. I'll fucking take a 27.
And what did you have before?
A 20?
Mm-hmm. You read something that appears to be from a much earlier time. The script itself is not in the regional language. You can't read the language specifically, but there is something about this that really does speak of an earlier time, of a civilization that used to be in Gilles Palome before the current occupants.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have an idea that there is something you managed to make out a couple of words. Give me, now that you're able to make it out a little bit, let's see if you, well, you know what? Hold on. Your check would enable you to Let's see here. I got nothing, mostly because they focused on a form filling out a little story for... Aww, KJ! Because I pulled my paint and brushed it out, nothing came to mind, but story did. Okay. KJ, you're awesome. Your role should give you something. You look at the stone, and together the glyphs begin to form concepts and patterns. They're jumbled up like jigsaw puzzle pieces, but you kind of put it together in your mind, and you get an idea that clear thought is absolutely required for something like this.
All right, I gotta do a little meditation, I think. Just give me a second. I just gotta...
Yeah, I'm here for you.
Oh, okay. You get the vantage point. I'll focus on this.
Yep, I'm here. Not a problem.
All right, and I'm gonna sit and do a little think while I close my eyes and then kind of like stare. I open my eyes and like stare into the runes.
Into the runes? You mean the rock?
Yeah, the runes on the rock. Yeah.
The runes. Right, the runes. I heard ruins. Gotcha.
Yeah, runes.
Not a problem.
That's okay.
Get an idea. Give me a... Ooh, boy. You know what? Give me a will save.
I'll take a 29.
Oh, fuck yeah, you will. Oh my God. Yeah.
Alvin appears next to me and says, "Don't touch that."
You look out.
Mm-hmm.
You hear war. You hear sounds all around you. You can see this land was filled with a people and creatures that were not of anything you've ever seen before. Mighty machines in the air hovering around. Those on the land, multiple feet walking around as well, aiding troops on the ground. A mighty war had taken place here. But you can always see, no matter where your mind drifts, that there's always one individual that appears in all of them. You don't know who they are, faceless, much like any other dream that you've had. But when they expired, due to an explosion, you noticed where they were. And then the scene changed. Subtly. It was as simple as a person who had begun carving something into a nearby rock. And before they were done, they were now putting it up, but the script on the rock was now done. And before they were done putting it up, they stood back and crossed their arms and said something to themselves, nodding, the stone now set firmly in place. And then you see a remembrance, something of them standing there, and then pulling something out of a pouch on their belt and holding it up. It looked like a ring. And they held onto it and said some words, and something had begun to occur, and their eyes blinked twice, and they looked up to their left only to see their blackbird, huge, a raven, flying from here to that branch near the tree that you are now under. Only in this vision, you get the idea that this tree was here much longer than you could have possibly anticipated. And back in the past, it was so much more vibrant. And then you follow the person's gaze down towards the base of the stone. And by this point, they've already dug a hole in front of that stone. And inside of a small metal box, wrapped in a piece of cloth, they then placed this ring. You then jump to the perspective of that person who had managed to take a look at the ring, as if in memory you recall it. Words on the outside and on the inside of it. Something of a foreign language that you don't immediately recognize. Give me a perception check.
Yes, please. 30.
You begin piecing it together a little bit. That magical ring was a piece of metal that had existed very close to the origin of the surge and had been enchanted as such. The ring held buries it into the ground inside that little box and then covers up the earth. And then you begin to see in a fast forward motion the cycle of the sun, and with day and night and day and night, and then it becomes seasons, and then it becomes years. Thousands of them. And still the stone itself, you can see it slowly withering away with every rain. And the tree becoming ever so more shriveled. And in the distance, wars that broke out here and there, and then an entire ravaging of land. And at one point in its past, a major battle of some kind that resulted in fire and conflagration that completely consumed the land, including the tree, but the tree came back. Until finally you open up your eyes. It's about noon. Morty seems to be feasting on a small some animal that's been turned to stone. And you're standing in front of a stone, some 10 feet away. The same stone you've seen this entire time.
I'm digging.
You start digging. You can see after a... You know what? Give me an athletics check.
Okay. Fucking 26.
When you find the small metal box that is, for the most part, completely eroded to the point where you have to put together pieces, and you can see that dirt has completely filled the interior of it. You manage to sift through that, and in there you find no cloth, of course, but instead above a raven that's looking down at you. Up in the boughs of the oak, croaking, 2 other ravens, some of the crows higher up, looking around. One particular raven looking down, blue-eyed. No, it's not Game of Thrones. It doesn't have fucking 3 eyes.
No.
Oh, so you go like that.
No. That was just my comfortable thinking position. Does it look like fucking, what's his name?
Grim?
Grim? Does it look like Grim?
I don't know. All ravens look alike. Give me a perception
Do they all
check.
have blue eyes?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. It's 18? I'm gonna say, Grim, is that you?
It looks like any other raven. But you now have a patch of dirt in your hand that, as you begin to sift through it, you feel a object. It uncovers,
container.
and you find a ring.
Huh? Do I put this on? I'm gonna look at Morty. I found this thing. I found an enchanted ring.
Holy
this
shit.
was in my vision.
Okay.
Should I put it on my finger? I'm gonna put it on my finger, and I'm gonna put it on my finger.
Okay. Give me a knowledge arcana.
27.
You look at your hand. You see it is finely crafted silver. It's got a clear, shimmering gemstone that seems to radiate at like a soft inner light. It's embedded directly in the silver itself. Mm-hmm. And the gem itself pierces the entire metal, so it actually also, so the bottom of it rests against the skin, and you can see it as you wear it, just for a little bit of time. It begins to, at first it's, and then after you wear it for a little bit, it goes attuned to your own heartbeat.
Ooh. Okay.
You look at it and you begin to get a slightly clearer view of the plan ahead. You have a +1 bonus to intelligence checks.
Cool.
A subtle rain begins to come down on the area as well. Something that this land has been needing and something that you have been needing as well. You also now have fortune on any saving throws against being charmed or magically being put to sleep while wearing this ring.
Holy shit.
Once per day, as a reaction, you can also negate the effects of a spell or ability that would cause you to be confused or have your thoughts read.
Ooh.
And you get the feeling that if you just simply sit still and focus your thoughts, you can get a brief insight into a problem or a question that you have. It functions similar to augury, but only provides vague feelings of good or bad.
Okay.
The world around you seems refreshed, even though the steppes beyond seem desolate and dried up. Here, nature is much more vibrant, but she still paints with a brush of dulled hues everywhere else. We will pick this up next week.
That was a great line. I really liked that. That was so clever.